How you doing? Us again. We're at Fitter Training Centre in Loughborough, Flooring Industry Training Association. We've been doing the briefing for this year's LVT competition. We've just been filming. What we do, we film the bay on everything, exactly what they've got to do, and then we send it to them. So we've had a couple of days here, haven't we?
We have, yeah, and checking through stuff, making sure it works.
It's been really handy. We've had Dean Dickinson down.
Yeah.
He's fitted the bay out in what they've got to do, and we've come across things we've had to change and things like that. So it has been really handy doing that.
It's been very helpful, and you know, top marks to Dean for coming along and doing that for us. Because,
yeah, it's good of him.
You know, it's sort of things. Once you're doing the competition, it's too late to change it when we're there. For the guys, but we've managed to tweak a couple of things, haven't we? Just change a couple of things as well, because you come up with the ideas, I'll come up with the ideas, and in your head you think, yeah, that's right, don't you? That's going to be brilliant. And then sometimes it's just not doable in the time frame that we have. So we've made some changes to the platforms, which we think the guys will appreciate.
Yeah, it's the timings really, because the semi-finals, I'd say there weren't quite enough time to do.
There wasn't, right? But at the end of the day, it was a learning curve for us, because we had brand new platforms that had been made. New venue as well. A new venue, because we were at the installer show at the NEC. So, and basically until a couple of days before, it wasn't sure what space we were having, was it? So we ended up like sort of having to tighten the platforms up a bit, move them a bit closer together. So it wasn't ideal in respect that the guys had the room that they wanted, but as the professionals that they were, they coped with it, didn't let it faze them.
And it was over 3 days as well instead of 2.
That's right, yeah. So we actually, it meant we could accommodate more people in the semi-finals, and you know, unfortunately I couldn't be there for the last day, didn't see all of that, but the rest of it that I saw was just fantastic. But as I say, it was a learning curve for us, wasn't it? Because we'd set out, not to moan, but we were in a position that we've never been in before, where we had more sponsors for materials, didn't we? I mean, a few years ago we were moaning because nobody
couldn't get anyone to sponsor. We had to turn them away.
And now we were turning people away. So you've got the sponsors that are contributing, you've got to try and show their products, and so it meant dividing the platform up rather than doing one sponsor on one platform. It meant dividing it up, and it did cause some headaches for us, didn't it? And you know, the whole thing behind the scenes didn't go smoothly. There was issues from that, but hopefully from what you guys saw, you wouldn't have known that, because, as I say, the semi-finalists were so professional in what they were doing. They just cracked on with it, didn't they? And but we've learned from it. That's why we've done this run through for the final, to make sure that it works.
I'd love to turn the camera around and show everybody what's being done, but even the finalists don't know yet.
They don't know. They haven't seen it yet, so we can't do that. But
it's going to be good.
It promises to be the best one yet. I think it's there's a bit for everybody. I think it'll probably silence a lot of the keyboard warriors that go, I could do that in 5 minutes. You know, hopefully, because you know, careful what you say, because in future we may have an extra bay set up, and those people that come along and say, I could do that in 5 minutes, you might get a chance to have a go.
And there was quite a few new faces in the semi-finals as well.
There were. It was great to see. You know, it happened over 3 days, didn't it, this time? So the first day, I know we had our first female competitor,
Zoe Carlton,
who did really well, didn't she? I mean, she was quite amazing, considering she was really ill.
Yeah,
in fact, she was admitted to hospital afterwards.
Yeah, they kept her in. So, as soon as she'd finished, she went to hospital. She had a hernia and a tear in her stomach muscle.
Something. I know she didn't.
Kept her in hospital.
Yeah, she didn't look well, but as I say, the professional that she is, because I had a conversation with her and said, look, if you don't want to carry on, don't carry on. You're obviously in pain, and
She did carry on,
and she came in and
she
carried
didn't
on.
finish the bear, but what she did do was really good.
She did really good quality, and I think Zoe. She said she'll come back and have another go in future, and I'd really be pleased to see that, because the quality of the work that she did was really good, wasn't it?
Yeah. And it's the first female to ever enter.
Yes, yeah, for the LVT one. I mean, Rachel Bolton did the carpet one years ago, but that's got to be 25 years ago now.
Right.
So, and it's great to see, because we are a very male-orientated trade, aren't we? And it's great women, I find, have a fantastic eye for detail and colours and things like that. And they see things that us men don't see, and it shows in things like this, and little attention to detail and stuff. So yeah, we'll be very pleased to see Zoe back in future.
Who else was on the first day?
We had Matt Parkinson, who's obviously he's been in a couple of finals before, hasn't he?
Yeah, I was very, very surprised Matt didn't get through to this year's finals, but he lost his dad the week before, so I don't think he was in the right frame of mind, because Matt's a class fitter. Yeah,
he is. And do you know what? It's all about that. It's like with sports people, top sportsmen, it's mind and body, isn't it? You've got to be right in here, then focused, and obviously, Matt had a lot going on, and at the end of the day, it's the five with the most points go through, and sometimes it even surprises us, but the way the scoring works is totally fair to everybody, but you can accumulate enough points to go through, even if you don't complete the task.
Yeah.
So,
but I did speak to Matt afterwards, and he says he weren't with it really.
He knew that, didn't he? Bless him. But hopefully Matt will come back another year, because he's, and the scoring was tight this year. I know between like first and second place there was something like 1 or 2 points, and I know fifth and sixth place. So somebody who's came in at fifth and has made it to the final, and a person who was sixth, there was only like 2 points.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So it's unfortunate. It means we have to keep doing recounts to make sure, don't we?
Who else was on first day?
First day, well, it was a new name to me, Neil
McKay. I know Neil. He's a nice guy, and it's lovely to see some fresh faces in there, because people don't want to turn up to the finals. It'd be the same sort of 4 out of 5 that were in the previous. Yeah, and Neil got through to the finals.
And and he did very well. So that was the very only. Yeah,
there was one of them didn't turn up. Who weren't well.
Yeah, it wasn't well.
There should have been 4 over 3 days.
Yeah, there was a last minute cancellation there, but day 2 again was a great day. I mean, new faces there as well. It was Bryn Hawkins. Yeah, who I didn't know Bryn. Lovely guy, and also then another face that we know is Keith Francis.
Keith entered. Did he enter the carpet or the LVT?
Do you know what? From memory, I think he entered carpet before. I think he was in, because I remember him in the semi-finals. Yeah, I remember him making it to semi-final, but I think it was the carpet. But someone will probably look back and go, no, it wasn't. I don't know what you're talking about. But I'm knocking on a bit now, so the old brain matter, it doesn't work like it used to. But yeah, it was nice to see him. And of course, guy's been in the final before, Wes Brocklesby.
Yeah, Wes.
He was on day 2, and I think Wes is probably one to watch.
Yeah, Wes made it through to the finals. He just cracked on, Wes.
Yeah, he has his ear pods in, and that's
just
it.
Cracked
he zones out and does it, which is, if that works for him, great. Yeah. But I remember him in the previous final, because he cut himself, didn't he? He cut his finger quite badly, and but again he carried on, patched him up, and he carried on, and
finished.
And he did finish. Yes. Yeah. So well done to Wes. I'm just thinking the other, Hayden Barr.
He's been in it a couple of times here.
He has
in carpet.
Yeah, because I remember Hayden, because I remember him. I remember the first time he came to a semi-final, and he was almost like a little bit out of his depth.
Yeah. He's only young, isn't he?
Yeah. And I think he'd have said he struggled a bit back then. And then he got through to the semi-finals again
A couple of years after.
a few years later,
Yeah.
and he was a different
Yeah.
person. He was a different fitter altogether, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So he's obviously what he'd learnt, he'd take away with him and you know, practice on stuff. And it's good to see him now
He's through to the final in LVT.
in LVT. Yeah,
He did
and
really
so,
well.
you know, and if he wins, he could then do carpet next year, couldn't he? And if he won that, he'd be the first ever.
Nobody's ever won both.
No one's won both. So, and it is a myth that you can't enter both. If you win the LVT one, you can't enter the LVT one again. But you're perfectly free to enter the carpet one, and vice versa. So, so you can always do that, can't he? It would be nice to have someone who wins both.
Yeah.
There's an accolade. Have to get a bigger trophy.
He was on day 3.
Day 3. Dan Jones got a mention because he's done a couple of he's been in a couple of finals,
Yeah, he's been
I
a
think,
few,
before.
Yeah. Really good fitter.
He's a very good
person,
fit. He's another
yeah.
one to watch,
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
because he's always finished quite high up the rankings from memory, and his missus Adele really wants him to win. She said if he didn't win this year, she's divorcing him. And I was going to phone him up and say, God, if only mine was that easy. Saves a lot of hassle and expense, doesn't it?
He's another Dan, he just plows on.
He does, yeah.
Head down, just plows on.
Always happy. I mean, you could set fire to his tools and he'd still be smiling,
Yeah, still
wouldn't he?
laugh about it.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing Dan again. Dean White I met, and
Yeah, I know Dean.
and a lot of people know Dean, and I only knew Dean from his sort of social media profile because he posts stuff and have a look. But this is the first time I'd actually met him was at the semi-finals, and another
he did
nice
some
guy.
really tidy work. Really.
He could be in one of those other ones that's in the background that you don't sort of realise. Then all of a sudden, on the day, they because from what I saw of his work, it was a good standard,
really good.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
The floor goth.
the floor goth, yes, yeah. I mean, I'm glad he's in the final because it gives me a chance to take the piss out of him a bit with it. I'm just wondering what colour hair he's going to turn up with this time round, whether he's going to have a Mohican, whether he's going to...
It'll be something different.
He'll do something special, won't he, for the final, you can guarantee that. Other one of day 3 was Alan Milford, of course.
Yeah, Alan, I know Alan. Yeah.
Alan's been in semi-finals.
Once, I think.
He was a few years ago. He
Yeah.
was in the semi-finals, and I've got a feeling back then he wasn't. I think he'd had a bereavement back then. It might have been.
I'm not sure.
A family member. He'd had a bereavement back then, and he wasn't totally all over it because I think he took a bit of time out afterwards and got himself together, and he's put himself back in the spotlight now, and so he was another one who we know, but then there was Darren Jones, wasn't there?
Yeah,
He was a new face.
First time I've met him. Really nice.
Yeah,
really
lovely
nice
fella.
bloke. Yeah.
Lovely fella, and and he said that his whole experience from the semi-finals was a positive thing for him.
Yeah.
And
It's constantly smiling all day.
Yeah, and he I think he'll be back because
I hope so.
he actually works for somebody, doesn't he? I think his boss gave him loads of support. And
give him the time off to come and paid for his hotel and things like that. So I hope he re-enters.
I hope it does, and as I say, this year we had a phenomenal response from both sponsors and people wanting to take part. But of course, there can only be one winner at the end of it.
I know, like I said, I'd love everybody to win.
And they all deserve it. To be honest, they're all very deserving because what they put themselves through. There's the people, the other side of the camera or watching on the screen don't realise that the pressure of being in that environment with hundreds of people watching you and stuff.
And the installer show, it was like thousands
of people.
Was it something like 30,000?
Their footfall is something like 30,000. Admittedly, it's not all flooring based because it's plumbers and all sorts. But you've got your plumbers and your kitchen fitters there that go, oh yeah, LVT, I could knock that out in half an hour. So, which, you know, they probably could, but it wouldn't be to a standard that we'd be able to judge them on.
And the engagement we had over the space of those 4 days, we had 800 and something thousand engagements.
It was
on
phenomenal,
the live stream,
wasn't it? Yeah, it surprised me, because I know I rang you up and said how many, because you kept messaging me saying it's this many now and it's going up this much each day. Dan was messaging, and then
it's nearly a million.
Yeah, absolutely mad to think that 1 million people want to just tune in and watch a flooring competition.
I know, yeah. And most of them were positive.
Yeah.
All positive comments. You got the odd.
You're always going to.
I was sick of hearing you should have took the toilets out.
I know.
We're not plumbers.
No. And
it's a competition.
Exactly that. You know, what would we judge on? If they took the toilet out, you know, anybody could do it.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of the plumbers that were there were going, I'd take the toilet out. It's the easiest way to do that. But we're not going to mark you on cutting around a toilet then, are we? But you know, the thing is, as floor layers, we stick to what we know. We don't really get involved in other stuff, do we?
No.
I mean, I won't take a toilet out for somebody because I'm worried it's going to leak afterwards, because you're responsible for it.
Well, it's a challenge, isn't it?
Yeah.
The challenge was cut round the toilet accurately. So.
Which, you know, they did a fantastic job of, and I'm really looking forward to the finals.
The finals are going to be brilliant.
I'm excited about the finals.
Yeah, me too.
And although I always do look forward to them, there's a lot of work involved in it. And I have to say, when it's finished, I do breathe that sigh of relief. We have a sit down, don't we, and go, that's another one out.
People don't realise how hard it is. My
know.
wife thinks I'm on holiday. You know, for a couple of days, but it's not. It's just constantly non-stop.
I know. And my partner's coming up this time to Harrogate, so she's going to see what
how
happens.
hard we work.
Yeah, the fact that we're there from 7 in the morning Sunday setting up, and we come out of there about 9-10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, no, that's the Saturday, not the Sunday.
That's the Saturday.
Yeah, we go on the Saturday, do the setup, ready for Sunday.
It's total madness, but we love it. We do it because we love doing it, and clearly people like watching it and following it, and you know, if it brings the flooring community together, and which it does. Back in my day when I did the competition, we didn't have social media. You'd have to ring somebody up to speak to them. And
Harrogate was the catch-up.
It was.
You know, you couldn't message like people and things like that. So Harrogate was the big catch-up with everybody.
That's it. Whereas now, you know, the guys who are in the final, a lot of the time they've got their own like social media groups.
Little groups
discussing the stuff, aren't they?
Yeah.
Which is great, you know, because the whole idea about learning how to do stuff is you learn from other people as well. Sometimes you learn it's not the right way to do it, but you know, by seeing them do it, I mean, I used to learn stuff all the time. I used to watch people and go, God, that's good. I never thought of doing that.
Well, I remember the first time I ever went to Harrogate. I went to the fitter stand, and I thought I was the dog's bollocks like. And anyway, there were Steve Ramsden and Tim Nicholas, and they were demoing car down there. I've just been doing it wrong all these years.
But do you know what, the amount of people that come along and say that, and it's all about trying to make people's life or their job easier for them.
Yeah.
And cutting corners isn't making stuff easier for you, because that just leads to problems, but show people easier ways of doing stuff, and it stays with them. I mean, the stuff that I've learned over the years from, of course, being in the finals, because I ended up in a few finals. I think it might have been 3 UK finals, didn't win them, but I ended up in 3 finals. And the guys, a lot of the guys like Steve, Tim, people like Phil Poser back in the day, they're still mates of mine today.
Yeah.
You know, we still message each other, and
we spoke to Steve Ramsden today.
Yeah, we did, and it's great that community, because we're all striving for the same thing, to make the trade one that's recognised as a trade, because I don't know about you, I still find that you go into places and you know, you say you're a floor layer, and it's like, oh well, any old job man can do that.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, they can only do it because they don't realise about how intense it is doing it properly. But you know, it's going to take years to get that message across. But hopefully this competition, people seeing how it's done.
So who have we got in the final then?
Well, in the final we've got
Daniel Jones.
Dan Jones, yeah, he's in the final.
Wesley
Brocklesby's in there.
Hayden Barr,
yeah, he's in the final.
Neil McKay.
That's it, Neil, and did we say Dean White?
Oh, Dean White. How can we forget Dean?
We've forgotten him already, look at his hair. Dean, you've got to do something that really makes us remember you with your hair. Not that the semi-finals was like that, but clearly we've forgotten you already.
Well, yeah, it's a good task they've got.
It is.
Something different, completely different.
It is, and the products a lot of the products this time round, people won't necessarily have seen, because I know.
This actual product's only being launched at Harrogate.
Yeah. So one of them will. There's a big launch of it at Harrogate. So
and it's a good advertisement for them as well.
It is, and it gives people a chance to come along and have a look and see what you can do with it. And we've had a play with it, and it's in fact both the products that we've used are lovely, aren't they?
Yeah, brilliant.
To work with. So, but yeah, there's certainly, it'll be a bit of an eye opener this year for some people, because I would like to think it's probably the most challenging one yet.
Yeah.
But from a skills point of view, but you're always going to get those people look at it and go, "That's a doddle."
It's just a dog box.
Yeah, a dog box. That's it.
I haven't done it in an hour.
But there's some stuff going on in there, you know, that, for example, you know, like stair rods. He's always very good to us, John Rain, isn't he?
Yeah.
Very good. Always supports the competition, and so we've got bendy balls and things like that being used. Not going to give too much away, but probably picture now what's going to happen, but it won't be long and the news will be out anyway, won't it? It'll get out somehow. But
I think it was important to get Dean in yesterday, because he's ironed out a few problems we would have had if we hadn't got him in.
He has.
Cheers for that, Dean. Thanks.
Yeah. Big respect to you, Dean. Thanks for giving up your time and coming in and doing that for us, because you know, and he's the winner of the last LVT competition, so if he doesn't know, nobody knows, because I say it's all very well having it all worked out in your head, and I always draw it out on paper as well, because what I want, the effects that I want to be on the platforms, and I sort of look at it, and then you look at it, don't you, and go, "Oh no, make that a bit more difficult, Ian." You turned into really sadistic, you turned, right? You've got this evil streak in you.
They're all there, bring Steve Ramsden back.
Yeah. But no, it's great when you've got somebody who does actually work with the product and tell you what the pitfalls might be of asking them to do certain things a certain way. So
well, yeah, I'm looking forward to Harrogate. Come by, say hello.
Yeah, do stop by and see us. If it's during the day, obviously we're on the stands there. We're on the Fitter of the Year stand. Come and say hello. We have to sort of limit the time a bit that we spend with people, because we are judging the guys at the end of the day, and we're trying to watch everything that they do as well.
But we go for a beer in Christie's.
We'll be in Christie's in the evening, so anybody who doesn't catch up with us during the day, come and have a beer with us in the evening, and we'll have a good old chat, chew the fat, talk about floor layers and flooring, because we don't seem to be able to talk about anything else, do we, when we're there?
Not really.
Price of beer's probably gone up, perhaps we ought to get on that. But the pork pies. See, they've stopped doing the pork pies. That was always a talking point, wasn't it, in Christie's? Hopefully, Christie's, if you get to see this, you're going to get some pork pies in for us, really. I do love a pork pie, a bit of a weakness there, as you might be able to tell.
Right, we'll give it a wrap there.
Yeah, wrap that up, and so look forward to seeing you all, Harrogate.
See you later, cheers.